Hello everybody, my name is Nerdy Lover and welcome back to another episode of our football betting series here on YouTube, Premier League edition. Full disclaimer, I'm recording this video ahead of the Boxing Day fixtures, so the statistical analysis and the form and stuff for the games I'm discussing for the New Year's games will not include those. So just take that with a pinch of salt when I'm going through the selections in today's episode. So we don't have any games to break down because we don't know the results yet, because I'm recording this ahead of time. So without further ado, let's just jump into our three selections for this episode. We kick things off with 16th place West Ham hosting 10th place Brentford. And West Ham have lost their last three competitive fixtures and not managed a win in England's top flight since the 24th of October. So I think they would have welcomed the mid-season break, to be honest. They do play Arsenal in their first game back, and, well, it's likely we're looking at 4 straight losses and no victory in over 2 months. West Ham score a startling poor 0.8 goals per game, despite creating 1.5 key chances per 90. It's their defence that's pretty solid at 1.1 goals against, but 3 clean sheets in 15 does leave something to be desired. It's not really the defence that's the issue of West Ham, but rather their inability to score goals at the other end of the pitch. West Ham have picked up 10 of their 14 points at the Queen Elizabeth Stadium, but have only scored 9 goals in their 8 matches. Brentford are the visitors today, and they picked up a shock win against Manchester City just prior to the break for the World Cup. A result which put an end to a run of no win in 5 competitive matches. Brentford have a tricky test against Spurs, so we may have a situation where both teams come into this game in search of their first win of the second half of the season. The Bees score 1.5 goals per game from 2.8 key chances created per 90. Their defence is slightly below average for a team in the Premiership, 1.7 goals against per 90, and 4 clean sheets in 15 matches. Brentford are 10th place in the league overall, but they're also 10th place in away form with just 1 win on the road. But they have managed to secure a handful of draws for an overall record of 1 win, 4 draws and 3 defeats for 7 points. Looking at the head-to-head record now, Brentford picked up wins in both the matches against West Ham last year, and they won this fixture by 2 goals to 1. I do think West Ham are much more vulnerable this season than they were last, but I'm similarly unsure if Brentford can pick up 3 points. Although I am leaning in their direction. I'm going to cover the option of the draw as well as Brentford, and we're going to lay West Ham in our first bet of the episode. Our second selection sees table-propping 20th place Wolves play 5th place Manchester United, and Wolves lost their last game before the break by 2-0 against Arsenal, and they really didn't put up a fight, to be honest. This did continue a dreadful run of form, and they're now winless each of their last 5 top-flight games. The Wolves do have a chance to pick up some points against an Everton side on the return on Boxing Day, but goals are definitely an issue for Wolves. They do average an embarrassing 0.5 goals per game, despite creating 1.2 key chances per 90. Their defence is also worse than average, 1.6 goals against per 90 with 4 clean sheets in 15. A ray of hope for Wolves as they have picked up 80% of their points at Molineux, but this recent form has abandoned them as they have lost 4 of their last 5 in front of their home fans. Manchester United picked up a win against Fulham in their last game thanks to a last-minute winner scored by Garnacho's superb individual effort. Manchester United are looking good on the form page with 5 wins in their last 6 competitive matches, and they will hope to add to this good run of form as they do play Nottingham Forest on their return to domestic football. Despite this positivity, the stats aren't impressive for Man United. They do score a pedestrian 1.4 goals per game, despite creating 2.6 key chances per 90. Their defence also leaves something to be desired, conceding at a rate of 1.4 goals per game, and 5 clean sheets in 15. The Red Devils do have the second best away record though, with 4 wins, 1 draw and 3 defeats. They do have a pedigree of picking up points on the road. When we look at the head-to-head record, these sides did split the points last year with 1 win apiece. However, Manchester United have won 3 of the last 4 games. These games have been tight as well, so despite Wolves' struggle this year, I wouldn't really consider Manchester United on the Asian handicap market. Instead, we're going to simply take the away team to win in 90 minutes. Wrapping things up with our final selection, we have 7th place Brighton hosting league-leading Arsenal. Brighton come into this game following their Boxing Day match against fellow South Coast club Southampton, and they're going to be optimistic of their chances to pick up another win against a side languishing in the relegation zone. Brighton returned from their domestic break following a record of 4 wins in 5 matches. The only exception to this was their most recent outing, a 2-1 loss to Aston Villa, courtesy of a stoppage time winner thanks to Matty Targett. Brighton are scoring an average of 1.6 goals per game from 2.6 key chances created per 90. Defence is around about league average, 1.4 goals against and 4 clean sheets in 15 matches. Brighton do welcome the Gunners to the Amex, and Arsenal sides that lead the table by 5 points over Manchester City in second. Arsenal are doing incredibly well and have only dropped 2 points in their last 7 league games for a total of 19 points out of a possible 21. Arsenal also won their last game comfortably against Wolverhampton by 2-0, and they will be hopeful against their resumption match against West Ham on the 26th. Of course, by the time you're watching this game would have already been played, so fair warning. As I said earlier in the video, these stats may not be, these stats may and probably won't be completely accurate. But as of the time of recording, Arsenal do average 2.4 goals per game from 2.8 key chances created per 90. Defensively, they do concede 0.8 goals per 90. 7 clean sheets in 15 is quite impressive, and in totality, this is league-winning form. If you can concede less than a goal per game and secure as much as a third or up to a half of your games as clean sheets, then you really need quite an inept attack to stop you from competing at the business end of the table. Arsenal do have talented attacking play, and they are scoring the goals as a result, so it's not really surprising to see them in the position that they are in currently. I do like Arsenal, and I do think that Brighton's statistics are unsustainable. However, if we do look at the head-to-head records, these sides played each other 3 times last year, with Brighton winning in the League and the League Cup, and the other game finishing in a 0-0 draw. Now, this is a much-changed Arsenal side who are playing a dramatically different style than last year, so I'm not scared off them entirely, but I will only be backing Arsenal for a half stake of £10 here on the road. And that's going to tie up our episode. So, a final disclaimer, if you didn't catch the video I did last week, we are changing the format slightly. Italian and Spanish bets will be in the pinned comment down below, so please check that out before clicking off this video. But if you have made it to this point in the video, please drop a like down below. My name's been Nerdy Lover, and as always, have yourself a lovely day.